She was an unknown girl in her hometown of Washington, D.C., and eventually became known for her knack of developing talent and playing basketball. In this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I talked with College of Charleston's women's basketball coach, Natasha Adair. Well, Coach Adair, I understand that you actually won your first game as head coach here at the College of Charleston recently. Talk to me about that.
Quintin, it was so emotional.
Really?
I had my parents here from Maryland.
Yes.
My sister, my husband,
Yes.
my children.
Oh, yes.
But then just to see the community support, President Benson and Jane Benson, and just looking in my kids' faces and listening to them and just feeling that intensity. There were so many emotions in this place. And I think for them too. First time head coach, first time out.
Yes.
And everything clicked on all cylinders.
That's awesome.
I couldn't have asked for just a better debut.
Yes.
And for them more importantly than myself.
That's awesome.
But I enjoy coaching them because they want to learn, and they have been so receptive since day one. So it was a fun night. I'm glad we got the win.
Yes.
But it was most important because my family and my friends and the support group were here.
That is good to hear. Well, as you know, on March 27th this year, you were named the 7th all-time head coach of the College of Charleston's women's basketball team.
Yes.
When you think of that, what comes to mind?
Thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
That's what comes to mind. You know, being an assistant coach for 14 years, I learned under very good head coaches.
Yes.
I've been a part of just two prestigious programs at Georgetown University and at Wake Forest.
Right.
But to get that phone call and say that it's you that we want, just wasn't a tribute to just staying hungry, staying humble, and being very grounded in my faith and who I am and what I'm destined to do. And so I feel as though it happened at the right time, in the right place, for all the right reasons. So I'm thankful, very thankful.
God is awesome.
All the time.
Absolutely. And before coming to the college, you were actually the assistant to Mike Peterson at Wake Forest University.
Yes.
Talk to me about your memories at Wake Forest.
Oh my goodness, there's so many. It was 8 years. It was 8 years. So you think of when I got in and us taking over a program.
Yes.
And just changing the culture there. Recruiting so many wonderful student athletes that I still mentor to and talk to on a daily basis, and just seeing their growth. We did a lot of wonderful things at Wake Forest, and walking out of there being a part of the most winningest staff in program history.
That's right.
And it's kind of funny, they're actually in the Virgin Islands now playing in the Paradise Jam, and we won the Paradise Jam. So I talked to a couple of players and I said, let's keep that legacy going.
Exactly.
But that was my family, and still is. And Coach Peterson, I don't even realize if he knows how much he taught me. And I see it more every day. Just in how to manage and how to run and communication and treating your assistant coaches. I mean, I attribute a lot of my growth and success, again, to the head coaches, Mike Peterson, Patrick Knapp at Georgetown, my high school coaches, Patty Langworthy, my college coaches. It's a mixture. I've been put in a little melting pot and we stir it up. And I'm thankful that I've had good people around me for me to now put my stamp on it and share this to my players.
Well, let's continue to walk down memory lane. I also understand that you, of course, the assistant head coach at Georgetown University.
Well, being an assistant at Georgetown, again, that was my first coaching stint. And to be from Washington, D.C., and to call mommy and daddy and say, I'm coaching at Georgetown at a time where Big John Thompson was on the men's side.
Oh, yes.
And again, just learning under legacies and just being a part of tradition and just being able to coach some of the best kids in the country. And one of my standouts there who I speak to daily is she's in the NBA, Rebecca Brunson.
Oh, yes.
Competed for another NBA championship with the Minnesota Lynx. And just to be able to have those memories and for me to see where I've grown as a person and as a coach. The one thing is always good to look back and see where you started and just see where you are now. And excuse me, one of my assistant coaches actually played for me at Georgetown, Melba Chambers, and to be able to hire her just speaks volumes on relationships, and being able to mentor to her, and then hope one day for her to head her own program.
There you go.
So this is just my opportunity to give back for what was given to me.
Yes. And I also understand that you have a knack for developing talent.
I don't know if it's a knack, but I'm such a competitor, Quintin.
Really?
And even with our players, I want the best for them.
Sure.
And sometimes players can't see what they have in them. They can't see what we as coaches see. And sometimes I know they feel like, coach is pushing too hard, or coach might be asking too much. But I once was that player, and someone pushed me.
Sure.
Even when I didn't want to be pushed at that time. And so to pay it forward and to be able to give it back, and just to see, just the players now who might not have shot the ball at a percentage that they're shooting it now. Or, one that stands out is Natasha Harris. It's night and day. She's averaging double-doubles. She has an upside to her game that is exciting, and I'm looking forward to helping develop that, and seeing her and all the other players go on to accomplish great things.
Switching gears, let's talk about home for a moment.
Okay.
You are actually from a place that I would like to live in, hopefully soon.
Yes.
Washington, D.C. When people mention D.C., what do you say?
Gosh. For me, D.C. is history. D.C. is culture. D.C. is home. And D.C. has so many memories for me growing up as a child, coaching memories at Georgetown. But that's where change happens.
Yes. And also, after you left D.C., you went on to college in Florida, and also the University of South Florida, where you went under Trudy Lacey.
Yes.
Talk to me about your memories there.
Oh gosh, my college experience is one that I cherish. My best friends in life I met in college, and I talk to daily. And it's something about college and your friendships and your teammates and just going through so much together and accomplishing things together. And I'm in a sorority, but that was a separate sorority for me. And they knew you when you were young and vulnerable, and you just you went through it together. But Coach Lacey saw something in me at 17 years old that I didn't necessarily know I had.
Yes.
And she pulled it out, and she was tough. Again, she was tough, and we talk now, and she, I think age is kicking in because she doesn't remember some of those things, but it made me tougher. It made me appreciate things, and everything that I wanted to do as a player, I wanted to please her.
Sure.
I wanted her to be excited about whatever it is that she was trying to communicate to the team, and I think that kind of carved that leader in me. My nickname on the team was Grandma Ma. That was back when Larry Johnson played, and I'm dating myself.
Yes.
But it was just something that I've always been. I'm the protector.
Yes.
And I want to make sure everyone's okay and everyone's in a good place.
That's right.
And that was me on the team. That's me as a coach. That's me as a friend. And Trudy Lacey is more than a coach to me. She's someone I still talk to. She's someone that I wish the best for, and she's also a champion. Graduated from NC State in the Hall of Fame, has coached on so many different teams and so many different levels and Olympic committees. Her resume speaks volumes for her work, and no one has given her anything. And that was one thing she instilled in us: do not walk around with your hand out. Earn it, work for it. So I can't say enough about her.
That's awesome. Felicia Hall Allen called you a total package. A teacher, a leader, a motivator, a role model, wife, mother, great friend.
Oh gosh.
Coach.
Yes.
What is the best that describes you in that whole particular package?
Consistent. I try to be consistent. Nothing. I'm not above anybody. And I sit here again very humble and very appreciative to know that this was afforded for me because of work. because of work, but also I paid my dues. If I could share one thing to just these young coaches out here, don't be so hungry that you forget to pay your dues. I think there's a process for everything. And I think in coaching and teaching and mentoring, you have to go through things.
Yeah.
Because what I do affects 15 young, impressionable young women on a daily basis. So I want to make sure that, over these 14 years, all of my experiences, good, bad, and indifferent, can help shape them so they don't go, so they can avoid some of those hurdles and roadblocks.
Yes.
No different than being a parent.
Yes.
And I think that helps me relate to the kids because, I have 2 children. And, the way I treat my son is differently than the way I treat my daughter. But I have to treat them fairly, and I have to be consistent. So if I have to describe myself in one word, I'll try to say, I'll say I'm consistent.
Well, let's continue that. Describe to me in one word. Basketball.
Adrenaline.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a game of emotions, and I'm passionate, and I'm competitive. I want to win.
Yeah.
I do want to win, but I want to win because I'm prepared. I want to win because I give it all. I want to win because there are no regrets. So it's an adrenaline rush for me.
One word to describe coaching.
Surreal. This is surreal.
I bet it is.
To go to work every day and live out your dream. And to mentor and impact so many young women. To get that call when they say, Coach, I want you to come to my wedding, or Coach, I want you to be in my wedding, or I just had the birth of my child, and those are the memories. It's not the wins and losses. It's graduation day. It's seeing a former player being recognized as Teacher of the Year in her respective state. Those are the memories when you see your young women that you've mentored grow on to be successful and know that you had a hand, just a hand in their development. That's what it's about.
One word to describe the College of Charleston.
Picturesque. Picturesque. This, picturesque paradise. I know that's 2 words, but
you talk to me about that. Yeah.
This place is beautiful. When I walked in here for my interview, whether I was chosen or not, I could see myself here. I'd been on other interviews, and there was I don't know, or, and not that it was a bad place, but
right.
When it's for you, it's for you.
Yeah.
And this place is special. It really is. I'm very happy that I'm here.
That is awesome. One word to describe Charleston.
Family. There's a family feel about Charleston. There's a family feel about the college, the community.
Yes.
And it's sincere. My family and I have been just embraced. They have been welcomed. There has not been one day that someone new has reached out to me to say welcome. And that's just an attribute to the good old down home Southern charm and hospitality. But this place is all about the family feel.
Yes, indeed. One word to describe Natasha Adair.
Oh God, one word. Compassionate. I care about people.
I see that.
I care about, I put people before myself. I'm very, very compassionate about just making sure everybody's okay. It goes back to being grandmama of my college team.
Yes,
I want to make sure people are in a good place.
Around this time last year, you actually were inducted into the Albert Einstein High School Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Talk to me about your experience about that.
Oh, high school, it was special. My high school coach, Patty Langworthy,
Yes.
who again I talk to on a weekly basis. That was something that she had been fighting for a while, and she called and said, I know you don't want all this glitz and glam, but this is something that I want to do,
Yes.
and I'm going to make it happen. And okay,
Yeah.
And then when it came to fruition, it was very special to go back to my high school, and I hadn't been back. just with my job
Sure,
and
sure.
movement, you're busy. But to go back and to see the same faces, old teachers and
Still there.
administrators still there. So proud of just what I did at that time and what I'm doing now. But for me to sit there and thank my parents, my family, my husband, my children, and most importantly, my coach.
Yes.
Because she saw something again at a time when I was actually running track before I played basketball.
I'm a runner too.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
oh, yes.
And again, she pulled it out of me. She came to the house and got me up at 8 o'clock in the morning and took me out to the outdoor courts and,
Yes.
and drove me from here to there to there and to stand up there and accept that award on behalf of all the other people that made it possible
Yes.
was a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Let's talk about family for a moment. I understand that you've been married to your husband,
Yes.
Aaron, for some time now.
Yes. Well, it's funny. We've been married 12 years, but we dated in high school. So we say we've been together 20 plus. But my husband, again, he's my rock. He's my foundation. I sit here because of his support and because he's allowed me to venture out and just, it's non-traditional. I mean, he's at home with the kids and he owns his own franchises and he's working and he's busy. But for me to be able to take this opportunity and not have that stress and not have that worry about how we're going to make this happen, you know, I didn't take this job without his, not permission, but approval and support. And even my son, he's 15, and he said, "Mom, you better take it." Like, duh. You know, it's like a no-brainer.
Right.
And my daughter, she's 7 and didn't really know. She just knew there was a beach close, so that was her stamp of approval.
Cool.
But we do things as a family.
Yes.
We make decisions as a family, and we achieve success as a family. And so, my husband, he's been there at all the games, high school. Supportive in college, supportive at Georgetown, supportive here. I mean, there's nothing he doesn't support me on. And
awesome.
During the first game against Coastal Carolina, he's sitting up in the stands, and he didn't want to be right behind the bench because he didn't want me looking at him. But when the game ended, he looked at me and he winked. That was so emotional and so powerful because, we're Bonnie and Clyde.
Yes.
We've grown together.
That's awesome.
So I love them dearly.
And together, as you mentioned, you have 2 children.
Yes.
For those who don't already know them, describe them.
Oh goodness, they are a mixture of both of us.
Yes.
My son Aaron Michael, he's 15, and he's playing basketball.
Is that right?
And he's pretty good. I must say so myself.
Yes.
He's now stands 6'4". When I took the job, he was 5'9". Go figure.
Yes.
But my son, he's the compassionate one. I can see it in him. He cares about his friends. He cares about mommy, daddy, sister. He's the protector. I'm proud of him academically. He's a 4.0 student. He's an honor student. He takes pride in doing things the right way. As a teenager and growing, and again, I don't have those issues. He is a good kid, and I'm not just saying it because he's my own.
Yes.
But he's the compassionate guy. He's the protector.
That's awesome.
My daughter, she's the feisty little diva. Let me tell you, she's my little princess.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I see her tomorrow. She's going on our trip to Ohio. But she's my diva. She's my princess. Will she pick up a basketball? I have no idea, Quintin.
Yes.
She's athletic though.
Oh, that's good.
She loves gymnastics. She loves dancing. She will probably be in front of the kid line somewhere. She is my athlete. She is not afraid to put on a show. But I love them both because they are risk takers. And I love seeing their confidence and their strength.
Yeah.
And I know that they get that, just from mom and dad, but also from my parents, from my in-laws.
Yes.
I want them both to know that the sky is the limit and they can reach any goal.
That's awesome. Well, people know that you have a love for coaching, a love for recruiting. But what is something else that people don't know about?
I'm a shopaholic.
Really?
I love shopping. I love it. It's therapeutic. My husband doesn't think so. I love fashion.
Good.
I used to write poetry. I haven't written in a while, but when I'm quiet, with my thoughts, I love to just put words down on paper. But a pastime of mine for sure. And King Street does not help, let me tell you. But I love fashion. I love shoes. I love purses. I just love the whole aspect of it.
They have it all down there.
They sure do. They sure do.
When you look into your crystal ball, what do you see in the future?
Success. Happiness. But most important, a completion of my goals. I want for this year, I want success for my seniors. I want them to walk out here champions. I want them to be champions in the classroom, on the court, in the community. But I want success for this most. College of Charleston is a place that you want to build to and you've seen it done inside. You've seen it done, volleyball. You've seen it done in soccer and all the other sports. I want this program to be a household name. I pray that I will, but I want it done the right way, and I want it done for our kids to really look at the memories I had in college. I want them, and the relationships with my players. I want them to be proud of their work, to be proud of their work, and just aspire to do great things when you're playing.
That's awesome. Well, Michelle Obama, it was good talking to you.
Oh gosh, thank you. Thank you, Quintin.
Thank you, Coach. That was awesome.
Thank you.